For the Detroit Lions, they went out there and beat down the Bengals, really in complete control of the game. And now with Aiden Hutchinson back, you got to wonder, are they the best team in the NFL? For the Lions, they are making the case that they definitely could be the best team in the NFL. And to me, the biggest reason has been the improvement on the defensive side of the ball that we've seen this year. Now, can that improvement, a lot of it, be summed up to simply the fact that they have Aiden Hutchinson back in the lineup? Probably. He's had 5 sacks so far this season. In the entire game against the Bengals, he was wrecking the game. He honestly could have had 2 more sacks if not for penalties. Well, one was an offsides on him, so I guess he got an early start. But another time he would have had a sack, but it ended, which would have been a safety, by the way. The first safety on Jake Browning. But they got holding in the defensive backfield. But you can see just his impact. He's constantly flying, and that definitely has helped the whole defense as well. For the Lions, the defensive backs managed to pick off Browning 3 times. Robertson got one. I mean, one, he just threw up a pop fly to Kirby Joseph, and so that was pretty crazy. But I really think like the entire unit just has been playing very well this season, and I think a turning point really was that Ravens game where they managed to hem up Lamar, figure something out, and that's a game that normally their defense hasn't come through the last couple of years. But again, they haven't had Aiden Hutchinson over that stretch that I'm referring to, where last year they were a 15-2 team, but it was all shootouts because they couldn't get stops. Whereas this game, I mean, their defense controlled it until it kind of didn't matter anymore. But it was 28-3 in the fourth quarter. And then Jamar Chase had a couple big plays. Browning started looking like an actual NFL quarterback, which I'm sure they weren't expecting. And they probably took their foot off the gas. But for the Lions, that was definitely for their defense. They continue to get better and better, it seems like, on that end. Now, again, it's tough because it is just the Bengals, so we can only take too much out of it. But for that defense, a very, very good performance. One thing that could stop them from being right now your NFL favorite or your NFL best team, sometimes we saw it against the Packers, and really we kind of saw it today. When they drop back, and not even when they have to, because they didn't have to pass today, but when they dropped back and passed, there were some leaks on that offensive line. You saw the Bengals D-line really make a lot of plays, and if the Lions defense didn't force those turnovers / Jake Browning just give it to him, I wonder how different this game would have gone. It's not like the offense was bad by any stretch. Jared Goff was 19 for 23, very efficient. Amon Ra St Brown doing his thing, getting open basically every time. What are his numbers? 100 yards for Amon Ra St Brown. Laporta was just taking flat routes and making them 20 yards every time. So Laporta was on. And like we said, Goff, 258, 3 touchdowns, no picks. However, they even had Montgomery throw a touchdown. However, there were definitely times in this game where the defensive line was a huge factor for the Bengals and kind of keeping them semi-around until Browning completely imploded. So you wonder, because we saw this against the Packers where that pass rush kind of got to them, but we didn't see it against the Browns. So you wonder if it was just a blip this week, or if this is something more telling of them maybe having some issues on that offensive line. But at the end of the day, their weapons are just amazing. Their play calling, very good. Let me give a shout out to Bro, because we didn't know if the Lions' new offensive coordinator was going to be up to the challenge. I thought they might even miss the playoffs because I thought Ben Johnson was that important to what they do. Clearly, Dan Campbell has the play call sauce. But John Morton has come in, and this offense has not really missed a beat other than week 1 against what we think is one of the better defenses in the league. And so shout out for that. Like I said, David Montgomery, they were trying to run the ball early. They couldn't really. The Bengals D-line was really stepping up to the challenge in an impressive way. However, they went Wildcat. They're expecting just another run. Then you get Montgomery, a little pop pass, throwing the football. Just an impressive play there. And I wonder, our team's going to start a Wildcat. This dude can still throw the ball. I'm still guarding people out there just because it's a running back there. They clearly want to throw the ball out of that. We've seen it now like 3 times this weekend. We saw Wildcat passes. 2 of them for touchdowns. The Vikings did it as well. But yeah, for them, that Lions offense continues to cook. Right when they needed it, right when it was 11 and Jamar Chase had the big touchdown, the Bengals are suddenly down only 11 in the fourth quarter. They went right to Amon Ra. They dialed him up plays. They got straight down the field, and it became super easy for them to go get that touchdown to Tesla, whatever his name is, and win the game and salt it away. So for the Lions, the only concern right now I have for them is that offensive line. You wonder how it's going to hang up against some of the better pass rushes in the league. But other than that, their offensive and defensive play calling has been very, very good so far this season. Those were the big concerns, and I don't think they've needed fixing. They've just been there. And we will see, because this next upcoming schedule, getting a little crazy for the Lions. They get the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football at Arrowhead, where actually the Lions beat them last time. If you remember opening day, was that just 2 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Then they play the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, and then they get a bye week, and then they play the Vikings. So a very interesting 3 games. I can't say the Lions are going to definitively lose to anyone right now. But those are 3, at least 2 of the better teams in the league. The Bucs are 4-1, and the Chiefs, even though they're 2-3, I don't care. They look like they were kind of back with that offense, but defensively they may have some holes. So we'll see if the Lions can. The Lions have been able to put up points on everyone this season. So I'm really interested in that Chiefs game, what they look like out of that. And if they beat the Chiefs, you got to say, yeah, who's really better than them right now in the NFL, who's playing at a higher level than them, because it's been an impressive start to the year for Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, and the Detroit Lions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do weekly videos for each team. So we have playlists directed to your team and the week in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and most importantly, comment in that section. I'd love to talk to you guys about what you think about the videos, what could be improved, what I did right. Thank you again. Lumia Sports. Peace.